have been discussing various things, and I think it's going very well. We've had some very, very good talks. We're going to have a talk now, and obviously that will continue. But we look forward to a lot of very positive things happening for Russia, for the United States, and for everybody concerned. And it's an honor to be with you. Thank you. Thank you.
Finally, Rachel, proof of collusion. So this week, CNN didn't just step in it. They jumped headfirst into a sewage treatment plant and did the breaststroke. After President Trump posted this now infamous meme, CNN acted as if they were threatened by a cross between the KKK and Mothra. The crying cue ball that is Brian Stelter tried to gin up public support to throw Trump off Twitter. It was the media equivalent of ratting out an inmate in exchange for smokes from the guards. They should make a movie about him.
This is a WWE WrestleMania video. You can see that the CNN logo has been superimposed onto the other fighter's face.
He came.
Even if some people think it was just funny,
he saw.
It is being taken very seriously.
He thinked.
We're going to keep asking Twitter that question, whether they believe it violates their terms of service.
If you cross him, he'll read the terms of service. Then he'll tell on you.
Who's going to speak up?
Brian Stelter in the role of a lifetime as Captain Tattletale, with Jeff Zucker and Danny Trejo as Laser. Hall monitors, Twitter justice.
Anyway, if only it ended there. CNN then launched an investigation, spending time and money going after a troll, a bad troll, but because he made fun of them. And when they found him, and who knows if they even got the right guy, they proudly paraded his scalp, but said they wouldn't name him unless he misbehaved again. Basically, they held his future in their hands. Seemed like a threat. Who does that remind you of?
What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
That's just a joke. That wasn't real, CNN. You never know. So why is this such a big deal? Well, when a giant corporation threatens to expose a nobody in order to silence him, that's huge. It's like swatting a fly with a nuke. CNN caught hell for it, not just for being stupid, but for being creepy and humorless too. First, the stupidity. Did they not realize the meme wasn't real? It's pro wrestling. It's fake. Sorry, Tyrus. But once again, CNN fell for fake news. Now the humorless part, they could have laughed this thing off and moved on, but no, they lost it over this. Oh my God, what's going on? It's not even very good. I mean, you can tell it's not really CNN. It's like, it's not real. But of course, once you say something bugs you to a bunch of people on Twitter, Reddit, and 4chan, what are they going to do next? They're just going to make more of it. That's what happens when you tell people what bothers you. They step it up. Anyone with siblings knows this. It's why I tell strangers that I hate being tickled. Of course. Yeah, that's pretty creepy. Of course, the really creepy part was making that veiled threat. Now, I've been waiting for something like this to happen for years. Ever since I turned right in the 80s, conservatives were always painted as humorless. We were the shrill, tight-ass scolds. But now we've changed, and so has the left. We're now the fun people. They're the miserables. A decade ago, A decade ago, I coined something called the Dean Wormer theory. It's based on the Dean from Animal House. For so long, the right was Dean Wormer, unhappy, stiff, bossy. My goal was always to turn those tables, make us the merry pranksters and the left Dean Wormer. But then the left went and did it themselves. By embracing identity politics and victimhood, they became the tattletales, and we became, by default, the troublemakers. And that brings us to CNN. Once an iconic company, they're now a sad spinster who can't take a joke. It's the new world. The libs are the shouty, humorless hacks who accuse everyone of ill will. Meanwhile, who's having fun? Us. For once. We owe this to lots of people, from early icons like P.J. O'Rourke to renegades like Andrew Breitbart, and weird shows like Red Eye. You might have heard of it. But of course, you gotta owe it to Donald Trump, who didn't give a damn what people thought, and therefore made it possible for the right to do the same. We should also thank CNN, because without them, we wouldn't have something to laugh at. Let's welcome tonight's guest. She's so bright, moths flutter around her head. Former White House National Security Council staffer, Jillian Turner. He's so funny that banana peels slip on him. Actor, writer, comedian Jamie Lissow. She's so clinical, or cynical, it's clinical. Read that in reverse. Co-host of the Fox News specialist, Kat Timpf. Yeah! And a cruise ship is his bath towel. Toy.
Whoa.
I know, towel. What was I thinking?
I'm just big and I'm his massive sidekick.
Hey, Tyrus. Hey. Jamie, isn't it weird to have a president who is part of the WWE?
It is weird, but this is one of those facts where when I realized today that I had not known it,
yeah,
I felt smarter. You know what I mean? Like when you don't know, so like I don't keep up with the Kardashians.
Yes, yes.
I feel smarter because of it.
Who is winning in this little media war?
I'm going to have to say CNN is making too many mistakes.
Yeah.
And I feel like Trump is winning, like especially with the 3 CNN, they had to resign.
Yes.
By the way, the headline that I read said 3 CNN journalist reporters resign due to a mishap. With, by the way, when you're on a job interview, that's one of the top 5 worst reasons for leaving a job.
Yes.
Yeah, it says here you left your last job because of a mishap. I'll show myself out.
Yes, exactly. Involving a forklift. Jillian, did CNN overreact to Trump's tweet? And there could have been a period where they just stopped.
I think so. Mm-hmm. Especially after watching the montage that you put together this evening. Mm-hmm. What I realized, I was one of the people who was critical of the video.
Yes.
Because I was one of those, like, it's the beneath the dignity of the office kind of people, because I have no sense of humor. However, I do think that launching a subsequent investigation and, like, outing the guy and threatening him and all this, it was just too far. And I think what ends up happening is that people end up looking like sourpusses.
Exactly.
And no one wants to be a sourpuss.
No, tell me about it. I was a sourpuss for about 10 minutes, and I felt awful.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, Kat, the troll is not a great guy. Right. I mean, subsequently they found out worse things that he put up there and that he ended up apologizing for. But that doesn't matter because CNN went after this guy without knowing that.
Absolutely. Plus saying that, well, if something changes, then we can out him. So how are they approaching this? Is CNN now going to have a solo division that's just following this guy, and then they have a sensitivity team that reviews each one of his subsequent memes, and they have a different cultural council. They decide if it's offensive or not offensive. I think that maybe they should do this thing called Let It Go.
Yes.
Instead.
I let it go often, usually on the side of a highway. Hey, Tyrus.
Hey, Greg.
Don't you think the other problem to this is whether this guy was rotten or not? CNN's a billion-dollar company. They were punching down. This isn't even punching down. This is punching way, way down.
Okay, well, first of all, the biggest problem, this whole thing, is the ugly word fake.
Yeah.
Your mama. Okay? You go see a movie, you see Terminator, you say, oh, that was a great movie, but it was really fake. No, you don't. Wrestling's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's simulated combat. Call it fake. I welcome anyone who wants to test the fake theory to come down in the ring, sign a waiver, because things happen in fake world. So that's the biggest issue for me. And here's the other thing. And CNN thought they were so slick and clever with their, well, isn't wrestling fake? Simulated combat, entertainment. And before the show, we have a disclaimer that says, hi, kids. These are professional entertainers who are professionally trained to do this. Please don't try this at home. So if we're pushing something fake, at least we tell you it's
Yeah, that's true. That is true. By the way, they're still not even sure this is the actual guy.
He said a cuss word.
I know he said a cuss word. We'll edit that out.
It was the way I was raised. Sorry.
Yes, but no, but they're not even. They don't even know it's the real guy. They don't.
Better devote more resources. Got to beef up the hand solo division.
Exactly.
To my point, Greg, once again, they push another story without enough sources.
Yeah.
Because they had one guy say, I think it was this dude over there, but I don't know, so don't say his name. Got it. Run it anyways.
Do you know what kills me? We got to move on. But the media bends over backwards to explain the non-violent nature of the word jihad with this person, Linda Sarsour. They're like, oh, she didn't really mean this or really that. But then they explain how violent a fake meme is. So they flip out over a wrestling meme. But then when Linda Sarsour starts waging jihad against Trump, they're going, oh, she didn't mean that. She didn't mean it was violent. Get it right. Like their priorities are so effing reversed. See, that's how you swear.
You know what could really be in danger?
What?
Who could really be in danger if there is a guy out there somewhere with a cube CNN? That guy.
A tragic case of mistaken identity. It was like in America's Most Wanted. The guy who played the criminal would always get arrested.
Yes.
I'm just an actor.
He did just tweet moments ago, I strongly pressed President Putin twice about Russian meddling in our election. He vehemently denied it. I've already given my opinion. Well, we could debate that for a couple of months about what the President of the United States has said about this. But he said we negotiated a ceasefire in parts of Syria, which will save lives. Now it is time to move forward in working constructively with Russia. That last part is going to annoy, if not more, Republican hawks who think essentially, so Putin robbed the bank. We have evidence of Putin robbing the bank. Trump walks into the meeting and says, you robbed the bank, and we have evidence of it. Putin says, no, I didn't. And Trump agrees to let's move on.
Yeah, that's not going to satisfy members of Congress who are not going to be comfortable moving on to say, oh, we can fix this for 2018, 2020 and beyond unless you have some sort of consequences for 2016. But this has also been the weirdest part of the aftermath of this meeting, that you have Lavrov coming out and saying first, well, President Trump said he heard Putin's clear explanation and he accepted that explanation. Then you have Trump saying, no, I didn't. Then you have Putin kind of backing off what Lavrov said too. So what exactly, was the body language agreement of what was accepted or just heard? Unclear. And that still, though, the fact that we're even talking about this right now, and that there's this question of, has Trump just said, oh, cool, bygones are bygones, is casting it's what could have been a strong point for him to say, I brought it up, that is now a potentially very, very weak point for him.
And at the end of the day, it's an extraordinary sort of back-to-back series of developments. One day before this meeting, he stood in Warsaw. I was at the press conference, and he criticized U.S. intelligence agencies on foreign soil about this. He has questioned the validity of all of this. And then he goes into this meeting and accepts this. So it is, I think it is more muddled than it has ever been before here, what the president says. And so interesting in his words when the Secretary of State came out. He said he shared the concerns of the American people about the election. He didn't say that he shared the president's concerns. We still do not know. He says, I've given my opinion. Actually, the president has given multiple opinions.